We're inside a Venezuelan prison with the Minister for the Prison Service, Iris Varela. She is a close confidant of President Nicolás Maduro, and today she is escorting a delegation from the Red Cross on a visit that will air on state television. Ms. Varela's press office had invited us here, but it appears she didn't want us to take the full tour.
Mucho gusto, Miguel.
Ya va, pero ¿ustedes vienen con la Cruz Roja?
No, con el New York Times.
Franklin, mira, pero no era para meterlos a todos. Yo a ellos les voy a dar una rueda de prensa ahora. No, bueno, póngalos allá donde lleguen. Ellos no tienen que estar detrás de nosotros, un gentío aquí.
Okay. We tag along anyway, curious to see what the system supporting Maduro looks like.
Atención, para dar el saludo a la ciudadana ministra. Buenas tardes, ciudadana ministra.
Puedo decirle que Venezuela es el mejor país del mundo, donde está el mejor gobierno del mundo, porque el régimen penitenciario como el que tiene la República Bolivariana de Venezuela es el mejor del mundo.
The government had closed this building down after a deadly riot. Then they reopened it and named it the Center for the Formation of the New Man.
Decía Nelson Mandela que una sociedad se puede medir su nivel de desarrollo por el trato que sus autoridades le dan a los más vulnerables, a los privados de libertad.
None of the men here are Venezuelan. We learned that they're mostly Colombians held for crimes like murder and drug trafficking. Ms. Varela tries to show that the state treats people with dignity. The reality we see tells a different story. Starting here on this stage tour, where there's no real mention of the one issue consuming the prison and the country. A nationwide blackout. Venezuela's been in crisis for years, but this power failure that lasted about a week is unprecedented. Even in the capital, it practically paralyzed life and showed that things could still get worse. We visit Alberto Diaz and his wife Miriam. Alberto runs a small watch repair shop with his sons. It's the family's main source of income, and they use most of it just to put food on the table.
Consumíamos 1 kilo de carne en un día, ahora no los comemos, es medio kilo de carne en un día.
Para 7 personas.
Para el mismo número de personas.
They also depend on government handouts.
Tenemos arroz, caraota, ¿ok?
It's clear to us they're frustrated.
Eso es un paliativo, pero no es una solución.
But they're careful when it comes to criticizing the government.
Los vecinos no hablan, saludan, tienen una conversación, por lo menos nosotros nos tocamos temas políticos.
Without electricity, the family also has no access to running water. So Miriam stores what she can and rations it.
Bueno, no se ve mucho, ya está abajo.
Se ve.
Okay.
During the day, we see Venezuelans scramble to get water. Some are so desperate they try and collect it from dirty drain pipes. We can't shoot freely on the streets. Security's everywhere, restricting access to places where hardship is most visible. Like here, at this public children's hospital. Doctors are outside, speaking about the dire conditions on the inside.
No se puede prestar los servicios básicos y elementales.
We're not allowed in the hospital, so we meet with Andrea Verde in the car.
Mucho gusto.
Mucho gusto, Andrea.
Andrea is the mother of a 7-year-old cancer patient. She tells us she sold her apartment and her car to cover a fraction of the treatment. Now she's living at the hospital with her daughter.
¿Qué vas a hacer ahora?
Seguir luchando y no quedarme callada. No tengo miedo de expresar lo que verdaderamente está pasando. ¿Sabes a qué le tengo miedo? A que el día de mañana mi hija no soporte más esto. A eso sí le temo. A ellos no. No podrán callarme. Dime. Voy.
¿Qué pasó? ¿Qué pasó?
No sé qué le pasaron a terapia. Ay, disculpen, gracias. Ay, gracias.
We can't say that it's the blackout that sent her into intensive care. But what's certain is that people are feeling the compounding effects of one crisis after another. And that's pushed some to take the risk and speak out. But not everybody blames Maduro. We head to the 23 de Enero slum, where the government still enjoys widespread support. Murals of Hugo Chavez, Venezuela's former leader, are everywhere. He's seen as a hero here for pouring money into social programs to lift the poor. And before he died, he picked Maduro as his successor.
Nicolás Maduro, un presidente, ¿verdad?, que viene y sigue los pasos que dejó, ¿verdad?, nuestro comandante Hugo Rafael Chávez Frías. ¿Ves? Sigue el mismo plan de la patria, ¿verdad? Sigue los mismos lineamientos, los mismos caminos y la misma visión.
Jesus Arellano is 25 and he's unemployed, and so he relies almost exclusively on government benefits.
Y a través del carnet de la patria, ¿ves? Es donde nosotros podemos agarrar y a través de este BQR, ¿verdad?, podemos escanearnos para todas las ayudas sociales que nos está brindando ahorita nuestro presidente Nicolás Maduro.
¿Y las ayudas sociales hay comida?
Mira, todas las ayudas sociales, fíjate.
Benefits like access to food baskets, medicine and pensions. But these perks are not doled out purely based on need. Fatherland cards carry personal information, voting records, social media activity, political affiliation. So government benefits favor pro-government behavior. It's why this show of support for Maduro doesn't feel entirely genuine. Thousands gathered when the government called for a protest during the blackout. But are they here out of choice or need? We asked them why they came out.
Estoy defendiendo a mi país. El imperio norteamericano saboteó el sistema eléctrico.
Que nosotros estamos siendo asediados por el imperio estadounidense. Ellos saben que al cortarnos la electricidad nos van a dejar sin alimentos.
We hear it over and over. People repeating what the government claims, that the United States is responsible for the most recent disaster. There is no evidence of direct sabotage, but that claim fits into a popular narrative here, that US sanctions against Maduro are generally making people's lives worse.
Que haya escasez de alimentos, que haya escasez de medicina, sí lo puede hacer, pero es producto de la guerra económica, ¿verdad?, que nosotros hemos venido enfrentando ya desde hace 4 o 5 años. Si logra en un periodo X, logra ese presidente, ¿verdad?, te he puesto 1000 a 1 que mira, ya tenemos empeñado el país.
Jesus is referring to Juan Guaidó. In January, Guaidó declared himself interim president and used US support to mobilize the opposition and try to force Maduro out of power. At this Guaidó rally we're attending, he appears strong and defiant,
¡Claro que se puede! ¡Claro que se puede!
inspiring thousands of supporters.
Necesitamos una oficina para trabajar. Pero tiene que ser formal, mi vida, la oficina de todos los venezolanos. A la oficina de toda Venezuela, muy pronto a Miraflores.
Guaidó continues to provoke, but so far Maduro has withstood the challenge. And for now, he still sits in the presidential palace.